Hey everybody! Wow, I'm live. It's my first time, so I'm super excited. Um, so today, what I wanted to do was follow up on the video I did on Tuesday. It's Tuesday. It's been a long week. It's Friday. Thank God. But I wanted to follow up on what I did on Tuesday, which I talked about making sure that if you've got celiac disease, or if you have a gluten allergy, or really any sort of dietary restriction that will make you sick if you have cross-contamination, you've got to speak up. So that's what I talked about on Tuesday. So if you didn't see that, go back and watch it. But I got a lot of messages about, okay, so I know I need to speak up, but I don't know what to say. So I thought today I would talk about that. And I'm going to try not to make this too terribly long. But what I typically do is, if it's a new restaurant, I call ahead first. And I do definitely make sure that I'm comfortable with that restaurant's disposition towards people with food issues. So if I call and the person's not very nice about it, not gonna go there and eat. Not happening. But sometimes you do get somebody who knows the kitchen's policy, they've got a gluten-free menu, they're on top of it, then I'm all about it. Now let me just say this though, if I decide that I'm not comfortable eating there, I still go out. I still take the occasion to be social with my friends and family, because otherwise it's just too isolating, and this disease is hard enough as it is. So what I typically do with that is I will bring my own food. The restaurant doesn't need to know that. You don't need to offer up that information. I always try to order a drink at least, whether it's a lemonade or a glass of wine or something, so that I buy something from them. But then I just whip out my food when everybody else gets their food. Not a big deal. Nobody has ever said anything to me. So if you aren't comfortable with where your party is going, don't use it as an excuse to not go, because you do need to be out and be social and live with your disease. So that's my piece on that. So when you're at the restaurant and you're ready to order, when you sit down with your server, I always let them know right out of the gate, hey, I'm sorry, I'm going to be complicated. I got these issues. So I let them know right away, and I ask for their input on the menu. And then what I try to do is narrow down what I want to eat in my mind, so that I've got more than one choice. Because when you walk through your first choice, you may find that you're not comfortable with how they are going to prepare it. So you need to ask questions like, if you want a burger, for example, you need to ask questions like, what surface is this burger going to be prepared on? Is it going to be prepared on a flat top right next to bread? Because I love me some grilled bread, but not as somebody with celiac disease. So you need to ask questions, because that obviously opens up a lot of room for cross-contamination. So you need to ask questions about anything that's on the grill. Obviously a fryer is an issue. So if you're craving French fries and they say on the menu that it's gluten-free, you need to ask, are these fried with onion rings or, fried fish or anything like that that has a gluten-containing batter to it. So definitely ask that as well. And then another common one is, well, two more common ones. One is if you like pasta or also steamed vegetables, you need to ask how those are prepared, because a lot of times restaurants will just keep one big pot of water continuously boiling. So they'll think nothing of boiling regular pasta and then using that water that's still going to blanch your vegetables that are now no longer gluten-free. So you need to make sure that you ask about vegetables as well. And then salads. You would think salads are an easy choice, but not necessarily. So you also have to watch salads, because obviously there's the crouton issue. But I just always ask questions around, how are the salads prepared? Are they prepared? A lot of times they're prepared early in the day with nothing else in the kitchen. So they are a good option in terms of cross-contamination. But if they're all sitting there and they have croutons on them already, you just need to make sure that they know that you can't have one like that. They can't just take off the croutons. You've got to have a salad that's never seen a crouton before. So my last thing on making sure that you ask questions is just staying vigilant, okay? So when your meal does come, let's say you ordered, you're confident, you're feeling good. Let's say your meal does come and something doesn't feel right. So let's say the bun on your burger looks oddly similar to the bun on, your gluten eating friend burger. You need to call that out. Don't just dig in. You have to ask questions, because that's happened to me before. I've gotten the wrong bun. So you need to make sure. You also need to make sure you're actually paying attention to what the menu said. So for example, at Bonefish Grill one time, which I love Bonefish. It's one of my favorite places to eat gluten-free. And I always get the superfood salmon salad. Well, on the menu, it tells me that I have to request it without the ancient grains or something. Well, I've gotten it before with the ancient grains. And so I knew right away that this wasn't right. I'm not supposed to have this. So they took it back to fix it. But when it came back, I thought, you know what? I just need to double check. So I said, is this the same piece of fish that was on the ancient grains on the previous dish? And sure enough, it was. So you've got to be your own advocate, and you have to ask questions. So hopefully that helped. I have a post up on the blog about this specifically. So if you're a visual person and you want to print that off and look at it, feel free to go up on the blog, and I'll post that link later. But just know that that's out there. So we're heading in the weekend. So if you are going out to eat, good luck. And don't forget to stand up for yourself and ask questions so that you stay safe. Have a great weekend.